Hi everyone, this is 3.1 Graphing and Writing Inequalities. This first slide talks about inequalities and what they are, and I'm sure this is review from what you've had in the past, but what an inequality is, it's a statement where two quantities are not equal. Quantities are compared by using one of the following signs. So our first example, we have A is less than B. And our second example is A is greater than B. So here we have the less than sign. Here we have the greater than sign. I want to review too, when we're graphing inequalities, remember when it's just less than or greater than, we have an open circle. And I'll get into this a little bit more when we go into the examples here in a little bit. We also have what's called A is less than or equal to B, or A is greater than or equal to B. Notice the signs. Notice these signs have lines underneath. That means it's going to include that value. So A is less than or equal to B. A is greater than or equal to B. And when we're graphing with inequalities, you'll notice in the examples coming up that will be a shaded in circle when we graph it. Remember, as you're taking your notes, you need to write in all of these statements. You need to write this definition. You need to write this. I would recommend you writing in that the circle is open for less than or greater than. You need to write this down, less than or equal to all of this. Writing down that the circles are closed when you're graphing. There's also something that I want you to become familiar with, which is solution of inequalities. This is any value of the variable that is going to make an inequality true. So in the next few slides, we're going to be working with solutions of inequalities to make statements true. So here we go with some examples here. The first one says, describe the solutions of 2p is greater than 8 in words. So this is saying 2 times p is greater than 8. So what we need to figure out is what value does p need to be to make 2 times p greater than 8 a true inequality. So the answer of this is, since 2 times 4 equals 8, to make this true, 2p is greater than 8, the variable p can be all real numbers that are greater than 4. Remember, all real numbers can be any number, whole number, fraction, decimal, that is greater than 4. Because we need the statement to be true for 2 times p to be greater than 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 is not greater than 8, so it needs to be any number greater than 4. So 2 times 5 would work because 10 is greater than 8. So here's the answer for the first example. Example number 2, graph each inequality. So here we're working with number lines, and we're working with the open or closed circle that I showed you on the last slide. So when I look at A here, we can put a number line. If I add 0, 1, 2, 3. This is saying C is greater than 2.5. So I'm going to find 2.5 on my number line, which is right there, 2.5, and it's saying C is greater than that. So since it's not including with the line underneath, I'm going to have an open circle at 2.5, and I can label it 2.5 here. C is greater than that, so I'm going to shade everything to the right to make that a true inequality graph right there. The next situation, we have 2 squared minus 4 is greater than or equal to W. Remember, 2 squared means 2 times 2, which equals 4. So this is 4 minus 4, which is greater than or equal to W. 4 minus 4 is 0, which is greater than or equal to W. So we need to graph this. 0 is greater than or equal to W. So here I'll put my number line. Here is 0 in the center. If 0 is greater than or equal to W, that means W is going to be less than or equal to 0. So I'm going to shade everything to the left. Notice it's including, so I actually have to have a shaded in circle at 0 and everything shading to the left. I'll put 0 at the top, shaded in, going to the left. Let's look at the last example. We have t is less than 5, parenthesis, negative 1 plus 3. Let's take care of what's in the parentheses first. Negative 1 plus 3 is going to give me 2. So I have t is less than 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10, so this is t is less than 10. So now let's graph this inequality. If I have a number line, starting with 10, t is less than 10. Would it be an open or a closed circle? This is going to be open because it's not including 10, because it's not equal to. So we have an open circle at 10. T is less than 10, so I'm going to be shading to the left. Less you shade left, greater than you shade right. And these are examples of graphing inequalities. These examples, examples 3, I want you writing the inequality shown by the graphs below. So when we were looking at A here, notice we have a shaded in circle at negative 1 and our arrow is going to the right. So the way we can write this, we can always start with the variable x. X is out here. X can be any value. So what is x representing? X is representing any number that is greater than or equal to negative 1. It's greater than or equal to negative 1 because we have a shaded in circle at negative 1. The variable, to make this inequality true, variable is greater than or equal to negative 1. So this would be the answer for A. To write the inequality for B, notice we have an open circle at 4. Our variable can be any number where you see the line going to the left. So again, we can call our variable x. You can name it any variable you want. Whoops. So I can have x. In this case, x is going to the left. So my variable is less than the value 4. Notice it's not equal to because we have an open circle, so x is less than 4, and that is my final answer. My last example for this slide, we are going to defining a variable and writing an inequality for the situation. Then we're actually going to graph it. So it's going to combine everything we just worked with all together here. So this says you must be at least, that is a key word here, you must be at least 46 inches tall to ride a roller coaster at an amusement park. So that means you have to be at least 46 inches, which means you can be 46 inches or taller to ride the roller coaster. So we can call h is going to be my variable, and that's going to represent my height. And when you're doing your homework, I would like for you to label what the variable is representing for the inequality. So you must be at least 46 inches or taller to ride a roller coaster. If h is representing my height, now I write an inequality where h is going to be greater than or equal than 46. The reason it's greater than or equal to because they can be 46 or taller than 46. So that's why I can include that. If the question was saying you must be greater than 46, then you would not have the line underneath. So this is my answer for example number 4. If you have any questions about this, ask me in class, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.